It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. This weekend's looking gorgeous. Shout out to everyone at the Gorge tonight. Big up to everyone on the campgrounds, the Gorge campgrounds. Wild Horse, everyone in Wild Horse, make some noise if you had Wild Horse taking a shuttle back to Wild Horse down the block. Put a 1 in the chat. Everyone staying in Moses Lake. Hey, what up? Everyone in Moses Lake, what up? Big up to all the cats hanging in Ellensburg. Jeff Coffin was actually in Ellensburg getting groceries yesterday. Big up to Jeff Coffin. Shout out to everyone at Crescent Bar, living the lavish in Crescent Bar. Crescent Bar, what up? Wenatchee. Anyone in Wenatchee, what up? East Wenatchee, across the river, what up? I know where y'all at. I've been out there. Leavenworth. Anyone in Leavenworth, a beautiful Bavarian style town. What up, Leavenworth? Some people may be staying in Seattle. I know, shout out to everyone in Seattle. They take that bus from Seattle every night. That's a drive. Yo, hey, big up Squanami Pass, all right? Hey, big up. How many of y'all know about that Route 2, the Stevens Pass? That is the pass that is beautiful. It's scary, but that pass is amazing. The mountain passes out there in Washington are awesome. So welcome to the DMB post-show stream. Hopefully we will have some guests very shortly. Everyone is leaving the venue right now. And I guess the headline is Boy Bayou. Okay. After an amazing night of songs, the band ends with Louisiana Bayou. Now, listen, I will say the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes of that song is amazing, but I'm not a fan of Louisiana Bayou. Some of you guys are. So, hey, it's a great upbeat song to end the show, but it can be polarizing. I know some people were texting me and saying, we're not ending on Bayou like this. They're about to go up and speak to the manager, the tour manager, be like, excuse me, play another song. But I know some people do like that song. And I thought this was a great first night at the Gorge. A great first night at the Gorge. And, you know, some people like it. Some people like Bayou. Some people don't.
Nope.
So, but that's the beauty of this. I think overall, no matter what songs you like, what songs you don't like, there was so much great music played tonight. And thank you to SiriusXM for hosting the live stream. Listen, I know some people are always going to say that, you know, they should have more of every show should be streamed, every Gorge show. But there could be no Gorge show. You know, before years ago, there wasn't shows streamed every Friday on SiriusXM radio consistently. Sometimes we would get them, and you know, we had some stuff that here and there that popped in and popped out, but we get every Friday show on the tour stream. So shout out to SiriusXM. There's a little bit of a hiccup here. If we look at the set list, it did kind of shut off right after the riff. At least we got the riff. Now, if it shut off during the riff, we would have been so devastated. But you know, at least the riff was held down, and we got that awesome performance here. And a couple of stats as we're again. I'm hoping that we'll get. Let's just check in on everyone. Okay, Steven is getting back. I don't know if Jeff is going to be on, but Jeff, if you're watching this, feel free to come on from the glamping grounds if you have a connection. Fatima, what's up, Fatima? Like the jam at the end of Bayou, but it needs a break. Shelf it for a little bit. Yes, it needs to go, and you know, I think Bayou needs to do some time. Okay.
Convict music.
Bayou needs to take some time away, reflect, sit down, Indian style, and just kind of go away for a little bit in timeout. But I mean, let's look at some of the stuff here. So, "Fool in the Rain," second night in a row, or second show in a row that it's opened. I said this on Twitter. Let's pull up my Twitter because, you know, I always like to post these different stats. Follow me, Twitter, ConcertViz34. Let's pull up my Twitter because I do have what I like to do on Twitter is add some stuff. I look up at the Almanac. Shout out to the DMB Almanac. But there's Jen and Hines' little thing there. So let's take a look at the beginning of this. Oh, that's not it. It's football. Okay. So we start off with this "Fool in the Rain." Now this is what I said. Now this is just my personal opinion. Listen, I know everyone has their different what they like and what they don't like. I said this. Listen, I would rather have "Fool in the Rain," okay, I think it's better than and these are openers that have opened up shows this year. I wanted to break it down to what we've gotten this year. And I said I would rather have Fool in the Rain over the following songs. So take a look at this right here. And so I would say I'd rather have it over That Girl Is You, When the World Ends, the post Leroy Moore Proudest Monkey. Before, when Roy was here, R.I.P., I thought Proudest Monkey had so much more of a soulful joint that can't be replicated post Roy. And then Funny the Way It Is, which I don't mind Funny the Way That It's. I got sick of it for a while. It was played so much, but I actually like it now. I don't mind it. Do I need it in a set? Absolutely not, but I don't mind it. So my line of thinking, and I know everyone's different. You know, you could say, oh, why would they open with a non-DMB? Well, here's two reasons. First of all, this song is a great cover. I think Sledgehammer is worn out, and I love, listen, Peter Gabriel Live in Athens is one of my favorite live albums ever. But that album that song needs to go away. Okay.
She belongs to the streets.
Send that back to the streets. Okay. I know, but it is, people love it. So I just think, hey, open up with the cover. So the casual fan, the hubby or the wifey who's with their spouse that loves DMB, but they hear this Zeppelin cover, you're going to get everyone engaged. I think closing with the Watchtower, like I got Gorge Night 3 2019, that's something I don't like. You end the night on a DMB song. Okay. So that's how I feel. But I think that open this up, it's better than these songs. I think it's a great opener. I don't care that it was played back-to-back nights. So that was my first thing that I observed from tonight, is that. The other thing is, this is the third straight weekend that the Gorge weekend that the Maker has been played on night one. I was at the last two weekends. I thought that was pretty cool. I think it's a great song. This is a great cover. I think it has been overplayed, but if they kept this thing, the Maker, as a Gorge only type thing, let's see, the Maker has been played 9 times. It should, the Maker should only be played 3 or 4 times a year. I know some people want to chase it, and I was chasing. I didn't get it till the Gorge. My first Maker was Gorge 2019, but it should stay kind of rare for a tour. But I don't mind it at the Gorge, and it's a beautiful, calm song as you're on the lawn of nature's Heaven's Amphitheatre. I don't mind that. The Warehouse was dope as well. I do agree. That Warehouse was awesome. It didn't have that stop time intro, but that intro that it had for a 2-spot in a show like this was awesome. It sounded great. That Girl Is You did not sound bad. I'm just not a fan of the song, but I will admit it sounded solid on solid on the Sirius XM mix. And I love What Would You Say? It's been a while, let's go to the stats here for Twitter again. But What Would You Say comes back.
Let's go.
It comes back, and this was the first. Here, if you guys can see that, let me zoom in. This is a take on the Jada August Alsina scandal. But this was the first non-caravan year, non-2017 full band had one show COVID year. This is the first time since 2009 that we've had a full summer tour. And What Would You Say was not played in August. So there's August Alsina. August is over. Will Smith is happy because August is over. So shout out to Will Smith and Jada there. So that was something that I saw. And then when we get this riff, oh man, The riff was amazing.
Let's go.
Okay, so we have a guest. All right, so one of the Louisiana. All right, we're gonna just cut to the guest because listen, we want to talk to people who are there live from the glamping part of the gorge on an island in the sun. Well, not, or I guess you would call it an oasis. No champagne supernova. But we have Jeff who's gonna come on here from the Gorge campgrounds. Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, great. How are you? You can hear me.
Well.
Yeah, I'm in our digs back at Oasis. Just digesting what I think is the best 100 or some of the other fans out there, but I didn't think there was a misstep, and I know you're going to say Bayou definitely was, but I'm a huge Buddy fan. So for me, having a Bayou close, so yeah, I'm jaded though. But I mean, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that I will say, yeah, obviously I'm not a Bayou fan, but if that is the worst part in a show, the first 3 verses of Bayou, listen, this was a great show. So tell us about the crowd tonight. What was it like? Where were you sitting?
So we gear. So brought the Arizona hats representing Arizona. It was good. We were probably 8 to 10 back in the similar place where we were last year. It's just, to me, is the best side to see a concert. So packed house, it filled in. It was a little bit. I say that it wasn't late for the show itself. It was more so for the opening acts.
So, sorry, the opener, it wasn't as packed for the openers?
No, I felt like last year for the openers. I'll be honest, I didn't make it in for the first 5, so didn't get in until the end of their set. And then.
Okay. And so we start off this show with "Fool in the Rain." Are you a fan? Were you a fan of that starting off as far as covers opening up a show?
I'm not, but I got to hear it. So for an upbeat opener, and it just can go into a warehouse. Yeah, it's so I'm a huge fan of his voice from 2010 2012. I think that was peak Dave voice, and his voice, it was amazing to hear his vocals.
Okay. And you are not alone. There are a lot of fans who want something from D&B to open up. I've seen a lot of comments, like just anything. One Sweet World. Some people wanted That Girl Is You. It is a lot of fans do want that Dave start. You can ease into the covers like how the Maker was third, but that is something that is common from some of the fan base here. And now, what did you think of these Away from the World songs? The riff at song number 7 and Drunken Soldier at number 11. What was that like?
So the last time I had the riff, I think was 20. So it had been a while since we had that live. So it was my first full band, Drunken Soldier. So getting that as, yeah, it was perfection. It was freaking out. Yeah, it was pretty special.
That's awesome. And I have a similar moment as far as my first Gorge show in 2019. Out of nowhere, I wasn't even thinking it was gonna be played. And I just hear that guitar start, and it just was probably one of the highlights of my first ever Gorge show, is hearing that. And now I've heard it. I heard it in 2013. It's been a song that for me, I ran my first marathon. I crossed the finish line, and Drunken Soldier was being played. So I think it's a great song there. And then was there talk about this, like from you, from other fans, from some of your friends you were with? Was there hopes for Ehe? Did you want to hear this song tonight?
I think the fact that the Ehe 2.0 on social media as well, I think that brought that back for Dave. To me, that's a song I was again chasing, but really it was spectacular to get it. And again, it's such a fun song.
Yeah, and I think what's amazing about that is we've had some things where the YouTube will post a video of Dave playing or the band playing a rare song, or Dave will have a side project with somebody else, and the song doesn't necessarily make the live set. So it's like, I always tell people, just be careful. Just because the social media team posts a song from 10 years ago that day doesn't mean it's going to be played. Just because a poster has stuff of like a Drunken Soldier, or it has a clock on it, and I know you love Time Bomb, just because the Georgia poster had a clock on it, I believe that was Georgia Methane, I said, you're not guaranteed Time Bomb or Stone Turn Back the Clock, do it over again. But tonight was special, I think, just to see that, on the set list and listen to it, because everyone, people were talking about it, but it actually happened. So I think that was special there. And as far as the whole show, what was your favorite song that you heard tonight?
The first time I had gotten to hear it, yeah, that was. But I love Stefan doing the again. It's very similar to what he did at SPAC. It was essentially SPAC drink. It was spectacular.
No, you really said Drunken Soldier is the song?
Too. And it's just because we've had it, whereas Ehe I'd never heard live.
So sorry, so your favorite song of the night, was it Ehe or Drunken Soldier?
Ehe.
Oh, okay. That's sorry, and I appreciate you hanging in there. Yes, some of the
Without
stuff's choppy, but I know this for a fact because last year, my fantasy football draft stopped and started at the Gorge, so I know the everyone's on the system right now, the cell tower. So okay, so Ehe is your favorite, and what was this? What was the song that you said you loved the bass from Stefan? Was it "Don't Drink"?
Yeah, the Tool intro on the bass, special. Was it Lazarus? Is the Tool song?
I think it's Latterus, I believe. Or it could
Did
be.
It come through? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a great
latterist.
start into drink. Yep.
Yeah, and I know, and it seemed a little longer because I know I've gotten it a couple of times. I know, like I said, SPAC, and then last year at Mansfield, they had that extended. Now he didn't do the Tool thing. The Tool thing's I think newer, but last year at Mansfield there was an extended intro. That they had. I walked out because it was Mansfield, and it was don't drink the I did wait for that intro to come in before I walked out because I remember hearing I was like, oh, this is pretty mysterious, and so it is a great intro to it, to the song, and it adds that anxiety, I think, of like, oh, what is, like, okay, we're waiting for it, and you're getting all this epic cryptic stuff to add to that dark energy of the song, and you go from Samurai Cop, this like happy song about we're all the same, and that transition definitely gives you that feel of a presentation, like a theater, like a play. You go from that happy to the dark. So I think that I agree there. Let's see. So we have.
Fourth was
go ahead.
The Kill the Preacher intro. The extended Kill the Preacher, 30 seconds or something. It was spectacular.
Yes, I was looking this up. So the Almanac, they considered this a full Kill the Preacher. This is only the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is only the 7th time that the DMB Almanac has kind of determined, hey, this thing was completed in its entirety.
Yeah.
And I was at 6, 7.
It was much more than a T.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I was at 6, 7. That was the 4th one that they did. That was in Hartford Night 1 in 2013. But it is when they do the full one, it adds that extra feeling that the night is special. There has been so many partials and so many teases, especially in the last 2 years. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teases. Actually, no more. But we've had a bunch of teases because I think like Dave feels like he's on a time crunch or something, or he just doesn't feel it that night. And he's kind of like literally just gone and played a couple of notes, and then he goes into YM. So I think that's a big thing for you guys to experience tonight, is that full Kill the Preacher there. And so I know you're glamping right now. What has it been like at the Gorge? I know you went out on a boat, you're hanging with friends and other people. What was it like today and yesterday to really be in this environment, literally away from the world?
Oh, it's pure joy here to have an amazing weekend. We've met that we get to see at this, where there's a good number of us that get together. Favorite songs, best shows, laugh time. There's some other stuff that's done, but for the most part, it's less than 5%, and I don't have a charger with me.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, hey, thank you so much for checking in with us. I'll let you get. Hopefully, you can find somewhere to charge your phone. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you for coming on. Take care.
Yeah, I'll be.
All right. So thank you to Jeff. And Jeff lives out in Phoenix. So he's a Buddy fan. I know his wife Michelle's a Buddy fan as well. They were in Hartford and Mansfield. It was great to meet them for the first time. But so he's a big Buddy fan, and he's, you know, they're not from Phoenix, but they love that Buddy's from the area that they now call home. And, you know, they got the Arizona gear, the Diamondbacks hat, and the Buddy Strong shirt. So very cool to check in with him. I think Steven is making his way back. And thank you for everyone. And just keep in mind, everyone who's on the stream or you're watching the replay, if you haven't been to the Gorge, the internet connection, they have cell towers, they have Wi-Fi. But when there's thousands of people camping, it can be very hard. Actually, last year whenever I go to the Gorge, I get a hotel because I could not do this show on the road if I was at camping. Like, it just, unless I had my own Wi-Fi, and then I have to get a charger. But it is hard to connect, and that's why I usually take the drive out to one of the towns. Most of the places to stay outside of the campgrounds are at least 30 minutes away, if not 45 to an hour. But the drives out there, if you haven't been to the Gorge, driving to Moses Lake or Wenatchee or Ellensburg, like, the drive seems so quick in some ways. Like, at least when I'm out there, like, there's not traffic. You can go 70 miles per hour. Be careful for the cops. All right. Do not push that speed limit, but just go 70 or go with traffic. Sometimes if traffic's going 75, go with traffic, because the cops will pull you over. They're looking to get them tickets, but they're also looking to keep people safe out there. Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend there. So just watch out. But yeah, so we'll see. Let me check in. What else was I? So that's let's see if we can get that here. Let's switch this out. So the stream shut down. Let's take a look. Now, I did time Seek Up. I will say the Seek Up was not bad. My thing is always, though, it was a really good Seek Up, but I just think less is more. Less is Leroy Moore. Now, I said I was joking. Once it turns 16 minutes, we got to cut off we got to give the song the hook. So let's take a look. I'm going to put out the audio back on. This is when Seek Up reached 16 minutes.
Well, they passed the 16-minute mark. Gonna give them that hook here. Time to pull the plug here. Give them the hook. Sorry, boys. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Seriously. I'm gonna hook you. Give you a slash with the stick. Time to give them the hook. You passed it. Oh, you're getting 17 minutes. Tim, we don't need all this solo. Tim, we love you. We don't need solo in here. Get some piano. Hook them out, man. Hook them horns, okay? Hook them horns. Going to the SEC. Hook them horns. Tim, we don't need all this. Right? This is not Tim CDC. Come on. Come on, let's give them the hook. Give them the hook. Wrap it up, boys. Wrap it up. Hey, boys, wrap it up.
So I was like, Jessica, hey, Jessica, on late night. It was 19 minutes and 23 seconds. Now, I started my timer. There was a little bit of noodling, and then I don't know if it was a mistake or something, but they were kind of noodling. Yeah, obviously, I'm listening to the audio. I wasn't watching the couch tour. It was around 19 to 20 minutes. Now, again, in the actual start time of it, maybe it's closer to that night. I think it was like 19:23, 19 minutes, 23 seconds. But I pointed out, let me just go to what I said. And this is my logic behind it. Okay. And shout out to everyone on Twitter, because everyone, listen, there's been some great 20-minute versions of it, but Tim had his tube screamer. Does Tim have a tube screamer? Does Tim use a tube screamer? I haven't checked his board for a while. I have a TS9 over there. That I use. Shout out to the tube screamer. Then I have a, what do I have? I have a Boss overdrive distortion combo pedal, which I really love. It's a very great pedal that I bought used. So look at this. Check this out. Shout out to Trey and Anastasio. He has the double tube screamer going for his effects. So this Seek Up is 13. It's 13 minutes and 29 seconds. This is Red Rocks. This is arguably one of the best, if not the best, Seek Up ever. Actually, the 2001 one is the Epic Railing one. That's probably the best ever. But this is one of the first live releases that was critically acclaimed by the band. Actually, it was the first live release, right? Red Rocks 95. First official live release. This Seek Up is amazing. 13 minutes and 29 seconds. I find that this band is better. Even now, they started out in the 90s, they had these shorter jams. And at the turn of the century, they became longer. In the post-Roy era, they became even longer. But I find that this band is at its best when they focus in on a shorter block of a song. By that, I mean, let's just say a solo is 3 minutes instead of 8 minutes. And what happens is the band gets in a rhythm. So they try it out every night. And what happens is this is the whole point of going to a Dave Matthews Band show or for actual, what I consider jam bands. The point is what they're really doing is every night, it's like a comedian. Comedians use trial and error, even at the worst. Even DMB at its worst, it's going to sound great. You're going to have a great time. A comedian, even if they're off a little bit, a lot of times you won't like, now sometimes you can tell when they're really bad, but sometimes a comedian will think, okay, I'm like at 75% of my potential for this joke, but you will still laugh at that joke crying. What you go to live events, basketball games, football games, whatever. Although now the college football season is useless because there's like 50 teams now that are going to be able to be in the college football playoff. I had to send shots. Sorry, I had to send shots. I don't like the 12-team playoff that they're going to do in 24 or 26 or wherever. Dang, I'll almost be 40 when that thing's out. Well, anyway, the point is, I digress. The point is, you go to a show, and everyone's had that feeling. If you're watching this and you've been to any sort of live show a bunch of times, different artists. There's parts of there's like these moments in certain parts of a show you've been to where you're like, wow, I've heard this song, but this right here is epic. It is I can't tell you how, like, I've been levitated up to heaven because of something they're just on. It could be a sax solo. It could be Dave doing some sort of special thing with his strumming. It could be Carter is just lights out. Jeff could pop on the flute, right? Like he did for What Would You Say? And you're like, wow, this is why I pay all this money. This is why this music is my therapy. And to me, those moments happen. They're more likely to happen when there's a shorter version of a song. Now, yes, people love longer versions of two-step because you're getting more two-step. But to me, there's still pockets of those longer two-steps that could be cut out. And with the Seek Up even tonight, we didn't need all that Tim soloing, in my humble opinion. Tim is amazing. It still sounded amazing, but it, like, when you condense it down, if you cut out some of that, you cut out some of the horn play, as I call it, where they're having a shouting match at each other. Just cut a little bit of it out. Now, they sounded great. Now, I will say at the beginning, they sounded great today. But the thing is, to me, and even this Seek Up from Hartford, it's only 17 minutes. Tonight, they pushed 20. So I always feel that less is Leroy Moore. 41s do not have to be 15 minutes. Give us a sax solo. Give us, well, when you had a violin, give us a violin, and give us a violin to kind of really give us that heartbeat. Oh, that's wrong violin. Wrong violin. But give us some violin at the end of 41. Sax and violin. Some of the versions that have the sax and the flute are amazing. But the point is, some of the best 41s are not long. Now, yes, you have that Flecktones 41. That's 32 minutes. But I actually like the New Year's Eve live track 7. The live track 7 one. Now, when there's a guest, I'm always for extending the song a little longer. But I like the live track 741 better than I like the 32-minute Ottawa 2002, I believe it was, number 41 on 420. I like the live track 7 one because, again, you're getting the best of what's around from the Flecktones in 14 minutes. For 32 minutes, yes, it was cool for once. I don't ever need a number 41 to be 32 minutes again. This band is better when it condenses its jams. It's still jam. They still are amazing, but it is better. Let's take a look at some other stuff here. Well, let me get out of this tweet. Oh, so here's the thing. I was going nuts. So I had a post here. Now, obviously, we all seem like experts when we guess things right. I could have been totally wrong on this. So on August 25th, someone said, "Hey, I'm going to the Gorge." Shout out to Sam K. If you're watching this, shout out to you. Said, "Hey, going to the Gorge, first time ever in 11 days, Sunday show." Oh, he's only going to the Sunday show. But he says, like, what do you think is going to happen? Liberation projection. Now, I said Shotgun at this time gets played. I did vote on a poll for Hines. Shout out to Hines. I did say that I think only Dreaming Tree is going to play. So I did flip-flop on that. But I did say I think in Away from the World, Deep Cut gets liberated like Drunken Soldier or Gaucho. So I was so happy. What I did is I reposted that tweet. And here your boy is hyped up.
I told y'all it was coming back. What did I tell you? I told y'all it was coming back. I told y'all this joint was coming back. What did I told y'all Drunken Soldier was coming back. I told y'all Drunken Soldier was coming back. I told y'all Drunken Soldier was coming back. I told y'all Drunken, let's go. Yeah.
So yeah, I was just a wee bit excited about that. But that song, oh my gosh. Like I said, that song, I literally crossed when I was 23, which is funny. 23, and that is such a shame, throw it away. Whatever, Nancy's lyric. I ran my first full marathon. That was a year. That was 2000 and I'm mixing up my years. That was 2014. Right? Yeah, I think I ran my first marathon in 2014. And Drunken Soldier. Oh, yeah, it absolutely was 2014. It absolutely was 2014. And I can see, yeah, it was 2014. So yeah, that was a year. That was a year for me personally. I'm making sure I have the right year. That was a year for me. I was finding who I was. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do work-wise. I had a job I was trying to get. But that song, Drunken Soldier, when I tell you I was close to tears, running, because when you run a marathon, it is such a rigorous training process. And it was so hard to run that marathon, but I stayed the course. I overpaced myself, which was actually a good thing. But when I crossed that finish line, I had just went through a breakup, like college sweetheart, didn't work out. It was one of the hardest breakup. I think actually the hardest breakup that I had. Don't worry, I'm getting married this year. So yay. I'm good. I'm getting married this year.
Let's go.
Anyway, my point is though, that Drunken Soldier crossing the finish line when that song was playing, it was just a special moment to me, and that song will always mean so much to me because of that. And I always thought some of those Drunken Soldiers in 2013 were hit or miss. I got it a couple times, but when I heard the Drunken Soldier at the Gorge in 2019, it was like, okay, they got it. They got this thing down. It is a wonderful song. The Holy Trinity of Away from the World is in the name of Drunken Soldier, The Riff, and Broken Things. I know people like Snow Outside. Snow Outside is a beautiful song. I've heard it during the 2 sets. I've heard it full band in the just regular electric set. But I think Snow Outside is a step behind those other songs. It's a beautiful, listen, it's a great song. But there's something about the riff that really pulls on me. There's something about Broken Things. There's something about Drunken Soldier, that those are to me the best songs from Away from the World that translate live too. That's the thing about Away from the World. If Only, to me, does not translate that well live. I've heard every song from Away from the World. If Only does not translate well live. Gaucho can get old quick. The first time I heard Gaucho, it was amazing. Heard it like the next show, and I was like, all right, I'm over it. If Gaucho comes back now, I think it would be awesome, but it should not be overplayed. This is true. Someone says, at least By You and That Girl Is You are out of the way. What an upcoming. And that's always a good thing about the Gorge. And here's what I'll say. From home, from the crib, right? I'm just trying to make sure we can check in on these guests. Oh, she's walking back. Okay. So we'll try to see if we can get Megan. And also, yeah, so hopefully we can get some, looks like Megan may come on, and then Steven Rack as well. The one thing I'll say about, and you guys listen, I break down these set lists left, right, center, up, down. And I will say again, Gorge 19, night 3, 2019 night 3, when they ended with a Watchtower as a 1-song encore, I was not happy. But you know what? I wasn't going to be happy leaving the Gorge, period. It's such a sad thing to leave the Gorge. So some of that I will just say on the fact that you have to leave. Yes, these songs are better in person. I've been in the pit and seen Buddy Strong bouncing up and down. So, and That Girl Is You, I saw that at Mansfield this year, and I've heard it in at Alpine. And it actually sounded great on Sirius XM. I will say that. It seems like they're really dialing that song in. And that's the thing is, but when I'm at the Gorge, like, I will say this, you know what's secondary? The music. I will tell you this, and going back to that Drunken Soldier, so shout out to Katie. Katie and I met at the Gorge. Now listen, I rode Dolo to the Gorge my first year. I pulled up to that thing, and I was by myself. I was by myself. Okay. I was like, yo, I'm just rolling Dolo. And I pull up to the lawn, and I just have a little spot. No one's really, and listen, I think I was talking to something, but I really was solo Dolo, pulled up to the Gorge in 2019. And shout out to Katie out in Idaho. She comes by, hey, she was by herself too, and she was very friendly. And listen, I'm a Connecticut. Do you see the NYC? I'm from the tri-state area. Okay. Everyone, listen, it is a term. When you see a couple arguing in the Bronx, that is how they love each other. When they cuss each other out, it is a sign of love. Okay. So I'm from an area of the country where, listen, there's some great people here, but we live on sarcasm, and we're very rough and gritty. We can't own any weapons because they're all banned here. So we let's not get political, but now, like, y'all down south, y'all really got the choppers, right? You can't own a water gun in New York City. So we can't really, as rough and tough as we are, we ain't really gonna do anything bad. Like you're gonna be, you may have a back alley brawl, like West Side Story. But that's it. But I say all that to say I was really there just like by myself, and Katie was awesome. She introduced me to the people she was with. I saw her in 2021, and not only did she say, "Hey, here's a blanket, let me sit on the blanket," and she gave me binoculars. There was no ulterior motive, right? There was no ulterior. It was just she was friendly, and it threw me off because I'm like, wait, why is she being so friendly to me? But that is the Gorge. And I'm sure many of you guys have stuff. And she gave me binoculars so I could see. I was looking at the guitars. Listen, we're in the lawn, like high up. And I'm like, oh, that looks like the tan drop D. It looks like the raised B. And again, no ulterior motives. Listen, it was just friendly, everything. Like I will say that. But it was, again, just and that's what happens every time I go to the Gorge. Well, I only been to 6 shows. But the point is, the next night I meet someone else. I like, you just meet people. And listen, shout out to Jessica. She's in the chat. And Jessica and Wayne from Wisconsin. I meet them at Alpine. They're giving me food, water to bring in, all sorts of stuff. Very kind. Okay. That's what this fan base is about. But the Gorge is literally any venue that's nice on steroids. So the set lists are secondary. The songs are secondary to being in a state of mind out there that is a relief from the real world. Not that you're running away from your problems, but you're recharging. And I go back into the work week and I'm pumped up, right? I even in 2019, I went back and got a promotion. Okay. So it was like, that's what the Gorge does. The Gorge just recharges you. I give back. I'm going in and I get a promotion like a week later. Like I'm like pumped up because that's exactly what the Gorge does. Curious in your opinion why Broken Things hasn't been played at all this tour after getting some love last fall and winter. Broken Things is a difficult song to execute, like Dreaming Tree, like The Last Stop. It is a song where it's just the way it was made in the studio. You can put pieces together. Shout out to Steve Really White. You can put pieces together of that song in the studio, and it will sound great, as does the studio cut. To execute it live, for Tim to do that electric guitar like intro live and really have the sound right? For Dave to be able to play that and because you go from like different themes. It's like you have that, then you have the "Oh my love is set on you." So vocally, it's challenging as well. And then you have, think about this, there's no violin now in the band. So some of those violin parts, it was one of those songs from Away from the World that actually still needed violin. And listen, I had it at Mohegan Sun last year, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was my first time since 2013 having Broken Things. I know some people haven't even heard it at all, but it is a hard song. The same thing with the riff. You have these different themes, and that's what makes those songs great. There's different transitions, and it may sound like it's all in the same key, or it may sound like this, but the transitions and the singing and bringing it to life in a quality, in an A1 level is very hard for this band, especially when that's why they don't play that song. And Away from the World is just one of their least played albums. So you were upset, didn't get an MSG, most likely to Jeff being out. It could have been that. I think when that happened, they had to condense theirs, but they still played The Last Stop, right? Ben the sax guy still had, so it could have been that. But a song like Broken Things, see, there's certain songs that are just always like, now Break Free, Break For It are getting a lot of plays this year. But before that, that was like, and those songs I think are easier to get back in. Like they just have to practice it as they did, and it sounds great. But Shotgun, Dreaming Tree, right? Shotgun, Dreaming Tree, Broken Things, the riff. Those songs are going to be sporadically spread amongst a set list. I mean, amongst a tour. They, for all I know, listen, prove me wrong, DMB, and play it almost every night. But there are songs that the band is going to trial and error. If the band has, and this is a musician thing, I've had some tutors when I played clarinet. Musicians like DMB, when they have their sound check, when they have time backstage to practice, they may only have time to practice 2 or 3 different songs. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to test out Drunken Soldier backstage. They're going to try to test out the riff backstage. If they're feeling it, if they feel confident, they'll be like, do you want to go? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Or Dave may make an executive decision. Like, that's what they do. Professional musicians, and I like I said, I've had some teachers. My uncle went to Berklee School of Music, Boston Conservatory. Dude could just, you throw sheet music in front of him, give him 5 minutes, and he could play it like that. Shout out to Uncle C. And my Uncle Carlton, bro is like 6'2", jacked, and he played the clarinet, right? And sax in the saxes. So it's fun. That's why I played clarinet growing up. We're like, yo, he was getting all. I used to see him. He used to take me like out, uncle nephew time, and like he'd be talking to girls, all this. Oh, that's your nephew. Like, I'm like, bro, I want to be like him. Now, unfortunately, I'm the shortest on my dad's side of the family, shortest man. My grandfather is short. My grandfather is like my height. But my uncles are all taller than me. All my uncles are 6 feet or taller on my dad's side, and my dad's like 5'10", 5'11". My brother's 5'9", 5'10", and I'm 5'7". So I didn't get the height. Okay, I did not get the height. But I say all that to say that those songs are hard to execute, and they have to test them out. And there are some songs like, listen, I could pull up, like for instance, Blue Water. Okay, right. Blue Water is extremely easy. It's just this. It's easy peasy, E minor, and then back to C. I'm playing E minor. I'm playing C, E minor again. Yeah. That's all that is, okay? It's an easy song, okay? But it's just not played. Same thing with Spoon. This is very easy to play, and I can even talk during it as I'm playing it. Taxes and home prices are crazy, so I can't be a homeowner right now. Used cars are expensive too. Can't wait till they go down. Although my car's pretty good right now. Wait till the prices are falling. Home prices are falling. Wait for the crash. And when the interest rates go down, then I may get a loan. But yeah, so that's like that's I can play that like that, where other songs are just harder. And there's the transitions and there's other different stuff. So it really, and listen, then there's songs Dave plays all the time that are hard, like Satellite. Like to play that and sing, and it's like your hands are stretching. And then there's songs like The Stone, like, you know, The Stone is a rare song. That song, it gets this hand. Let me get higher so you guys can see. But like this hand right here will get worn out by The Stone. Like that's harder than you think. It sounds like you're just going ba 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 da ba da da, but it's like that thing will wear out. The captain stretches right here. Oops. So like your hand, this is my hand during captain, and this stretch is a pain, right? That stretch right there. Oh, son, won't you stay? I'm messing up. So like some of these Dave chords are very hard to play. And so he could play it like this. You could play some of these chords. So this is the chord that he plays, and it sounds great. Oops. That doesn't sound great. So you could play, he plays it like this, but you can really play it like this. You can really play it like this, but it doesn't sound as great. These Dave chords sound better on guitar. You can really play like this. So, and even like Gray Street. So these are, it's a little easy to play this stuff. But you can really play it like this. That's the note, but he's playing it like this. He's taking advantage of the other strings. All right, let's check in. And listen, we may have some challenges getting people on. Let's see. Because, again, it's hard. Let's see. Let's check in with Steven. We'll have to see. I would love to get Steven, because Steven, he's going to be at a crib. He's going to have his own Wi-Fi. He's not on the campgrounds. So let's see what else you guys are talking about. What other stuff? I want to look at some of the comments at the beginning. He liberation. I didn't put up this stuff. So let's look at some of this stuff. Some of the tour debuts here. So we have the riff, Drunken Soldier, Kill the Preacher. Now the riff and Drunken Soldier are liberations. Oh no, not the riff. Drunken Soldier. Drunken Soldier and are the liberations. Jeff talked about getting that. I told people not to get their hopes up, but I did that on purpose because, I know some people want to dream, but I'm like, I mean, they could go this whole week and not play it. So just don't, keep your expectations low, and whatever you get is bonus. That's just my mindset with D&B. That's what I learned early in the game. Just take what they give you. And then let's look at the venue debuts. We'll put them on the ticker here. So Madman's Eyes and Fool in the Rain. Everything else has been played here. If we get an Ocean and the Butterfly, Ocean the Butterfly was played last year. So there's very few songs that are going to be venue debuts potentially. The only thing was not played here last year. So that would be a venue debut the next two nights if they play the only thing. Something to Tell My Baby would be a venue debut if they play it this weekend. But a lot of stuff is played at the Gorge, but a lot of stuff isn't played at the Gorge. And I think this is why you go to this weekend. And listen, if you haven't been to the Gorge and you go your first weekend, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna get it. you're going to understand, hey, it's much more than the music. It's the environment. It's the people you're with. It's the people, it's being by yourself on a hike or being by yourself looking at a sunset. It is just this place. I cannot say enough. And even this weekend, listen, I know I went to SPAC this year, but I missed SPAC last year. And listen, I wish I was there, but this Gorge thing is hitting me a lot harder than me missing SPAC last year. Not being at the Gorge this year is, and I in some ways I'm pumped up because I'm like, I want to feel like I'm on West Coast time. I took a nap today before the stream, before the actual Sirius XM stream, but it is weird being home. When I was 2020 was, listen, everyone was home 2020. There was no one posting pictures from the Gorge, so it was like nothing to really be like FOMO about. But this is just, it's not even the show, right? I think I've heard every song, even if I never had heard Drunken Soldier. I've heard every song that was played tonight. But that's not the point. Even if I never heard of DMB, like, it's the environment. The environment is what makes this. It makes it special. And then we'll show some of the upcoming shows. Obviously, there's, we're coming to the end of the road. And Pee Wee Herman says people seem crunk tonight. Yeah, it's just, there's what's great about the venue too. There's 20, 30-year DMB fans that this is their first night at the Gorge. And if you're watching this stream or you're watching this stream days after you come back home, it's Monday, Tuesday night, and you're watching this stream, you will understand, right? I'm glad you were able to experience this weekend for the first time. There's people who have been all across the country, but just haven't hit that Gorge. They've been all up and down the East Coast, but they're finally getting to their first West Coast Gorge show. It is so special to see people cresting the hill. I saw a lot of stuff on social media with that. And it is just, it's a wonderful thing. And speaking of the Gorge, we're going to run in and we're going to take a look at the two steps. All right. Let's take a look. I have a little bit of a video. So let's take a look at what is going on at the Gorge. Stephanie with the PH is checking out the Gorge Terrace guest services in a long walk from the campground to the amphitheater she finds. The Triptych Night 1, 2step41 on IG. Message her if you have any of the posters. Whoa, hey, whoa, what's going on there? David and some guest services people. Whoa, that's controversy. But for a help 2step41 out to get the poster. She moves on to Cave B Winery, the best tailgate spot. A bottle of red, not a bottle of white. This ain't a Billy Joel song. And as she looks at the beautiful scenery from the winery that started it all, she zooms in to peep on David J. Matthews' tour bus. And then Carter Beauford on the drums' tour bus. And now she sees an IG friend that she wants to meet IRL. And there he is. What an awesome meetup. And of course, she makes friends everywhere. Friends from Mount Rainier. A shout out More friends, such a happy human race. Eat, drink, and be merry. Steph's first gorge ever. The lawn, full of blankets. Oh, hey, Jessica. What up, Jess? Oh, that's Trey. What up, Trey? Oh, excuse me. Back to my regular voice. Look how beautiful it is on the gorge lawn. T-Mobile customers get free lawn chairs. Blink 182, many people in the pit with blinkers. Steph with the F gets a shout out from my girl, DMB Fairy from Connecticut. What up, what up, what up? Steph with the F is also at her first gorge, and she will be able to experience the awesome greatness of Heaven's Amphitheatre. Stay tuned tomorrow for more behind the scenes looks at the two Stephs at the gorge. So they have it. That's what we have so far. I know they're enjoying, so not much footage, and that's okay. I want them to enjoy the gorge and take it in, even if that means less social media. But they said they would share. It was okay to share their content from IG. So shout out to the two Stephs, Stephanie with the PH and Stephanie with the F. Both of them are at their first gorge ever, and I think that's real dope. Be able to follow them around and enjoy. We may have to, I don't know if we'll get Steven on here. I'm glad we got to talk to Jeff, because at least we got one person in. Because right now it is 3:36 in the morning. It is 3:36 in the morning and on the East Coast. It is getting late here. Sun's gonna come up literally in a little bit here. Because it is late. So thank you guys. Right. It is 3:37 a.m. Shout out to Matchbox 3 a.m. Right, get it. Yeah, we'll give it a little more time for Steven, but then we'll have to wrap the show. And I understand, listen, I want them to enjoy their gorge experience. And let's check in on, see if we, let's see. Let's see, because someone was, I think, going to the campground. Yeah. PB Herman gets it. It's 3 a.m. I said, baby. It's 3 a.m. I must better. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I think this is a great start to a great weekend. Oh, the poster. Let's look at the poster. Actually, speaking of that, let's go to I know we can start. Now this rant right here. It'll rain more depending on what happens the rest of the weekend. I actually think this post. Let's listen to what my overall outlook on this weekend right here. Okay, Gorge poster rant time. When I'm talking about this, I'm excluding the Dan Mumford triptych, amazing. The Gorge Sperry in 2019, amazing. And even though night 2 last year, 21, had the gorge landscape, that was a whole mess. It looked so blurry. It was disaster. Can we have some gorge posters that actually encapsulate the Columbia River, Vantage Bridge, Wenatchee, Leavenworth, Moses Lake, something that actually represents the sub-desert of the gorge? I don't need no trees. I don't need a bobcat. I know there's bobcats in eastern Washington, but that's not the point. Can we get a poster that just actually takes advantage? They could have 50 different landscape versions of the gorge itself, the Columbia River Gorge. I don't care. I would rather have something that actually looks like the landscape people go to, not freaking bobcats or trees. There's no trees by the gorge really outside of KB. It's embarrassing to see all these posters miss the mark of what the gorge is, the most beautiful venue in the world to see a live show at.
Yeah, so that's how I feel. Now, for this night 1, okay, I think now there are people that didn't really like this poster. They expressed their opinions. Now, I think this is a step in the right direction in the sense that last year we had a bunch of stuff that didn't feel like the gorge's climate. The sunrise, the low sub-desert brush feels like the gorge. I understand now maybe there's something more. There's been some gorge posters with trains, but I'd rather have a train than have a telescope in the forest. I just rather would have that. So I'd rather have that than the abstract disaster of night 2's gorge poster last year. I'd rather have it than a bobcat. The bobcat wasn't bad. I know there's some in Eastern Washington, right? There's bobcats in Eastern Washington, and maybe some in parts of Central Washington, but it doesn't feel like the gorge to me. I just want they could have 50 million posters that captures, because again, like I said, there's a lot of great towns and cities, and if they had the town or city match like one of the cities out here, Leavenworth is beautiful, Wenatchee is beautiful, Moses Lake is beautiful, Spokane is Spokane is no, just kidding. Actually, I loved the walking trails. I loved walking through Gonzaga University. They had it is beautiful. A lot of the people in Washington kind of talk down on Spokane, but it is a beautiful city. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is technically a state over, but a couple hours from the gorge, is beautiful. It is amazing. I've been all across Washington. I've taken I-90 from Seattle, the Seattle metropolitan area, to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And each end is amazing. The stops in the middle are amazing. I've taken I-90 to the gorge. I've taken Route 2 to get to Wenatchee from the greater Seattle area. I've done both. And it's cool. Both of them have their pros and their cons. The Route 2 route, Stevens Pass, is much more scenic and beautiful. Do it at during the day. Don't drive it at night. It's scary. Even during the day, it's scary. And parts of it is remote, where the I-90 is it's a major highway. So even if there's empty parts, it's at least accessible. It feels more accessible. But I thought this poster was okay. I think it's, again, I'm looking forward to Saturday and Sunday. I hope they have more of the landscape. When I made this post, okay, gorge. We also had shout out to Don Dingo, that's Hines, in the chat. He had this gorge caravan poster, which I think is beautiful because, again, it has the amphitheater backdrop, how it looked back that year. You're on the Columbia River. You have some trees over there, which is fine, but it's kind of, I think this represents. So the forest outside of Seattle in Squamish Pass,
they meet the sub-desert like about 45 minutes before you get to the gorge. If you're coming from Seattle, you drive 45 minutes away from the gorge. No, if you come from Seattle, you're going to go through this foresty, mountainous area, and then it transitions into sub-desert. So that's what I love about this poster. It has that transition from the mountainous trees. And maybe that's what the Bobcat was going after, is the mountainous areas that do have a lot of pine trees and stuff like that. But I want more things that have to do with the gorge. This poster screams gorge. And you have the fire dancer in the moon. Like, and the thing is, again, I think one of the things, and listen, this band plays a lot of shows, but it's okay for the band to just stick with these themes of nature. People will still eat up these posters, especially because you have first-time gorge attendees every year that are from other parts of the country, and that you could have 15, 20 shows elsewhere, and then you go to the gorge. So you're hip on the poster game, and people who are hip on the poster game come to the gorge. They're going to buy those posters. They will sell out. So I just hope, and I love what Daniel Danger did. If you watch my almanac, my video from last night, you know, Daniel Danger called the almanac. He looked at previous posters. He was looking for pictures of them from the almanac of previous posters, and he wanted to make sure he did something unique. Also, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Hit the like button. It's not for my self-esteem. It's because this gets more exposure. The more exposure these videos get, the bigger we can grow this community, and we can have more people on. There's a shout out. There's 12 people on at 3:46 a.m. in the morning East Coast time, and a lot of that is because people hit the like button when I was starting off, and now I go to shows. People say, "Hey, oh, it came up in my search. It came up in my news feed because y'all hit the like button." So hit the like button simply for the fact, even if you're watching the replay months later, hit the like button because it'll help it for people who are into Dave Matthews Band or live concerts. This will show up in their feed if there's more likes. I'm not monetized for most of these videos because, you know, I'm sharing content, so it doesn't get high in the algorithm. But if you guys like it, that helps it. So I would just say that very briefly. Hit the like button, smash it, stomp it. So yeah, the poster, I think the poster, I understand why people don't like it. I understand why people may like it, but it's a step in the right direction because it feels more sub-desert. Yeah, it feels more sub-desert. All right, I'm going to have to shut this down. Maybe tomorrow night we can get someone on. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we did get some reaction from Jeff, who was there last year like me, and he's there this year. And I think the big thing is this year you have the full band. Last year, while I would not change anything about last year. I have no regrets about seeing a band. Yes, the sets were impacted by the lack of personnel, but that was one of the coolest things ever. But it still wasn't the full band. So the energy this year, I think, is big because some people went back. Some people couldn't go back. Listen, it's expensive to get out to the gorge. But a lot of fans, the reason they returned is because they went to the gorge last year, didn't get the full band, and now they're coming back because they're going to get the full band now. So, yeah, there you have it. I'm trying to think, just make sure we cover everything. Let's see. What are people saying? Yeah, Megan's walking back to camp. It may take her. Yeah, these walks are long. Let's see. Let me just say, we'll see. Show may be wrapping up. And it's a chance you may be able to send it. I like to keep these under 2 hour or in a 2 hour mark at most. Yeah, I'm starting to feel those. Oh my gosh, it's 3:50. Wow, it's almost 4 a.m. But thank you guys for the support. Really appreciate it. We may have an extended show. We may not. Oops. Take out the Gorge Posters thing. We're done with that. Now, what's interesting about the Fool in the Rain, I will say that Fool in the Rain, we have this song that has rain, and we have a part of the country that doesn't get a lot of precipitation. Now, Seattle does get its rain here and there, but Seattle also, I know people talk about there is like a rainy season in Seattle, but Seattle also is dry during the summer for periods of time. It doesn't rain that much. I've been there. I've been to Seattle twice in 19 and 21, and it was mostly sunny. They kind of have a rainy season in the winter. But it gets real dry at the Tahoe region of Nevada, the Nevada-California border, and the Gorge. So they play Fool in the Rain, but there's no JTR. Now, JTR has been something as of recent in this last decade or so. It has been something where it has to almost rain. There's been times where it didn't rain and they played it, but it's very rare, few and far between in the last decade. JTR has not been played at the Gorge since 2006. You will hear that stat nonstop. It's one of those stats I just kind of pulled up. I don't think anyone really had looked that up. It has not been played in the Pacific time zone. That was actually how I worded it the first time some years ago. It has not been played in the Pacific time zone. So Mountain time zone, like Fiddlers is in Mountain time zone. But the Pacific time zone, that's California, Nevada, Washington State in its entirety is in the Pacific time zone. And they have not played it since 2006 in the entire Western Pacific time zone. So, but it doesn't rain that frequently. And a lot of times, like if you think about it, if it was to rain severely in an LA show, that would impact DMB's show. So you would almost sometimes, like if it rained in Phoenix, if there was a monsoon, it could cancel the Phoenix show because they can't hold the floodwaters. So now, the venue would be fine, but I think the traffic and safety and all that stuff, they could actually cancel a show if there was a really bad flood in Phoenix. I'm not saying that should happen, or LA, if there's mudslide. Like they may still do the show. A lot of times they will try to push through, but anyway, the point is they have not played the song in the Pacific time zone. And if anyone from the band is watching, hey, let's let you know, ConcertBiz 34 told you. I do accept pit tickets and backstage passes and lounge passes as thank you tokens of appreciation. By the way, if anyone in management is watching, hey, I'm joking. But let's see. Just gonna do another check. Yeah, I don't know. Well, a good thing we got Jeffrey because we're struggling right now to get guests. Poor Ruthie. Ruthie went to 12 shows this year, chasing Drunken Soldier. I want to be happy, but that's how it is. That's how it be, though. That's how this is, man. Like, listen, that's how this was Shotgun family. I went to 8 shows this year. I went to 9 shows last year. Right? Let's look at my almanac stats because we can. Shout out to the DMB Almanac. Oh, I didn't even know they had this about thing. Henry Hart, admins, owners, Rob, and Matthias. Chris Drews is on. Shout out to Chris Drews. I was with him in. He knows my boy. Last year at MSG, and then met him at MSG last year, and then he was at Alpine. My almanac. What was I looking up again? I can't even remember. Oh, my shows, tours attended. Okay. Yeah. I have not gotten Shotgun 41 shows. I've been to 41 shows. I knew that from SPAC because I was like, I got 41 on my 40th show, and I was hoping to get number 40 on my 41st show, but it did not happen. Now I got pay for what you get on my 34th show. That was pretty epic. My first ever pay for what you get. So summer 2019, I went to 5. Summer, fall. So I went to 10 shows. I did go to 10 shows, but I went to 1 Dave and Tim. I did 9 summer plus that. So I went to 9 shows last year. Chasing Shotgun, didn't get it. Go to 8 shows this year. Shotgun comes back before my first show, and I still don't get it. I go out to Chicago in between Alpine and Deer Creek, and they play Shotgun in New Jersey. They don't play Shotgun at SPAC, Alpine, Deer Creek. They may not play it at the Gorge. They may play it at the Gorge. Who knows? So this is the almanac stats. This is really cool. To see. Check out my Dave and Tim. It's pretty small. I've been to 2 Farm Aids and 1 Dave and Tim standalone. $38 full band shows. It's really cool to see this. Let's see. Steven, nothing. And again, I hope he's having a good day. But it's hard. It is hard to get connection. Okay, so yeah, we'll shut it down for tonight. Hopefully, try to get it. Oh, no, that's not nothing. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll try to get them on tomorrow if we can. All right. Outro video. Oops. Let's try to set this up here. Let's see if I can get to something. But thank you guys again for the support. Really appreciate that. I'm going to sleep well tonight. Oh yeah, I didn't take videos from the Gorge. I'm just looking for. In 2019, I only took that Drunken Soldier video that opened the show. And that was it. Let's see. We'll close this out. All right, so and I gotta find a song. Find a song. Let's see. All right, we'll end with Walk Around the Moon. So thank you guys again. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay tuned. It probably will be a little bit later than 10:45 like tonight. After the show ends, we will try to begin. It's your boy Conservative 34. You guys be well, be safe. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you very, very soon for night 2. Like I said, this is Walk Around the Moon from the Pit, Hartford, Connecticut, 6/18/2022. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Sometimes that makes it taste even better.
In her hand, she said, "You take me